Once in a blue moon, the uh, the movie gods and cinematic universe come together to bring us a film unlike anything we've ever seen, experienced, or felt. It's a cathartic feeling, like we just were there as the Mona Lisa was painted or the Sistine Chapel was painted, and we are just in utter awe that we were able to be there at that moment to experience such a film. Tommy Wiseau's film The Room is not that film. In fact, Tommy Wiseau's film The Room is iconic in many ways that you would not immediately assume after witnessing it. The film has been around for 14 years, I guess. It came out in 2003, and I have never seen the film. I've heard of its reputation. I have heard and seen people quoting from it, and I mean, I got the references, but I never. I mean, not the references, but I've heard the scenes about scenes and lines, but I never actually sat down to see the film. And now it's 2017, and I have finally witnessed The Room. Now, The Room is a cult film, very much in the ilk of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, that is something you have to consider because this film has developed a cult following. Hence, there will be people, if you do see this in the theater, there will be people who are going to possibly ruin your experience by quoting along with the movie or telegraphing the unintentionally funny jokes that are about to occur on screen. And that was probably one of the main reasons I was reluctant to go see this in the theater. Now, I did actually see this at home, and an uninterrupted and undisturbed experience. But it's the film is a challenge to get through, to say the least. But in the end, it is very much a guilty pleasure. Definitely one of those bad but goods. Something on the line of, like, say, Miami Connection, which is a classic in its own right. And fortunately, when I saw Miami Connection theatrically, no one telegraphed the jokes, and I enjoyed the viewing experience immensely. Now, The Room probably is the kind of film you want to see with an audience, but like I said, it's something you don't want to have ruined for you. I mean, you might have heard lines and about scenes from the movie, or might have seen like clips on YouTube, but and as a whole, it's not something you want to have ruined for you in any way. The experience of yourself does kind of ruin you. Um, the film is written, directed, produced by, and I believe edited, or might have been edited by Tommy Wiseau. I hope I pronounced that right. And it's basically the story is about a banker in San Francisco who is engaged, and his fiance suddenly decides she doesn't love him anymore and starts sleeping around and ends up sleeping with his best friend. So the whole love triangle there is set up, and the film follows the relationship as it starts to fall apart. Um, Now, there is a story there that in classically trained hands that could have turned into an actual, real, legitimately powerful drama. But as it is, and Wiseau supposed is to be commended, is that as a filmmaker, he did whatever the hell he wanted to, and it's kind of interesting because as a critic, yeah, I see a lot of films, but I recently just wrote a short film that actually got made, and having firsthand witness of the filmmaking process. I mean, I've been on sets before, but I've never actually been thoroughly involved in a film, in a creative endeavor as such. And I just seeing what the director's doing and what the actor's doing and whatnot, and how dialogue has changed. But it felt like in this film, there was no effort made to really like draw a legitimate performance out of anyone, or allow the dialogue to play out naturally, and the just overall, just the like the editing, the pacing. There's just so many things that in film fans' eyes that you would see as wrong, but it's certain that he made this film as intended to be serious, but it just came off as unintentionally funny, and he has embraced that since. But taken as a straightforward drama about a relationship, there's a lot to be desired because it just drags a lot at some points. But when you look at it as if you go into expecting, okay, this is going to be one of those like bad but good movies, and it does take a little while to get going. But I can't remember the exact moment, but there was a point where I just started cracking up, and after that point, I was just laughing for the remainder of the movie at the events that were going on, and it's definitely a film that should be seen and experienced. And being that this weekend, The Disaster Artist, directed by James Franco, which is about Wisa and The Room, is opening in limited release and will be going wider in a few weeks. It's perfect timing to see The Room, which is the reason why I ended up seeing it now. So this bad but goody guilty pleasure, rated as such, I would have to give it a 4 out of 5 for that reason. But as a judged as a film, I would probably I'd have to give it like a 1.5 out of 5. Because just judged as a film is like thinking, it's like, why am I sitting through this? It's like, oh, this acting is so terrible. It's like it gets grating and awkward at times. But taken as an unintentional comedy, it works and it's pretty funny. But taken as a straightforward drama, you're probably going to want to tune out in the first 15 minutes. So, The Room. Definitely one that you have to be prepared and in the mood to watch. And who knows how you're going to feel after seeing it. But if you're going to see The Disaster Artist, I highly recommend watching The Room so you have some context going into the movie and on getting getting an idea what this whole thing is all about. I never, like I said, I never seen The Room, and I knew The Disaster Artist, but I didn't see anything from The Disaster Artist until I ended up seeing a trailer for it, which kind of ruined moments for me in The Room. Yeah, so The Room, as a film, 1.5 stars. As an entertaining experience, 4 stars out of 5. So, if you like this Crossing the Streams review, please hit that like button below. Have you heard of The Room? Have you seen The Room? What did you think of The Room? Please comment below and let me know. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can see any new reviews, Crossing the Stream reviews, retro reviews that I may post on my channel. And please be sure to check out ErnieTrinidad.com for my written reviews for new releases, such as The Disaster Artist. And when you subscribe to my channel, please hit that bell button so that you can be notified when I do so. So until next time, my friends, we'll see you at the movies.